India, a nation at the crossroads of tradition and progress, has seen a wave of events shaping its political, economic, and diplomatic landscape. From protests over controversial legislations to deepening diplomatic crises, the current moment is both pivotal and intense. Let's dive into some of the latest developments making headlines across the country. First up, we have nationwide protests erupted against the newly enacted Waqf Act 2025. The protests, particularly in cities like Hyderabad, Pagwara, Cuttack, saw citizens raising their voice against their law, which they argue undermines the constitutional and religious rights of Muslims. Critics claim that the law grants undue state interference in Waqf properties, further escalating the tensions across the nation. Next up, we have the US Vice President Vance, accompanied with his wife Usha, who have come here for a 4-day visit to India. They will be staying in Jaipur. The visit highlights both nations' efforts to strengthen their economic and defense ties. Discussion centered across increasing bilateral trade from 190 billion to 500 billion by 2030, with topics like defense collaboration and potential F-35 sales to India is on the table. Next up, we have, in an effort to protect its domestic industries, India recently imposed a 12% safeguard duty on steel imports, particularly from countries like China, South Korea, and Japan. The rise in low-cost steel imports had been harming local producers, prompting the government to take action to safeguard the sector. Despite most of the news being pro-India and against China, the economic outlook has taken a slight hit, with GDP growth projections downgraded from 6.5% to 6.3%. Analysts point to the challenges posed by proposed US tariffs and stagnating private investment as contributing factors to this economic slowdown. Next up, we have is the most disheartening news of the week. That is the tragedy that struck on 22nd of April 2025 when a deadly mass shooting occurred in the valley of Jammu and Kashmir, Pahalgam. The attack, claimed by militant group the Resistance Front, claimed the lives of 26 tourists and left over 20 injured. In retaliation, India took swift diplomatic measures, including suspending the Indus water treaty with Pakistan and expelling Pakistan diplomats. After this incident, we can see violence sparked renewed clashes along the line of control, and India launched search operations across Kashmir to apprehend the militants responsible for the attack. This marks another new chapter in ongoing Kashmir conflict, which remains one of the most volatile regions in South Asia. Despite this heartbreaking news, we have a brighter news coming from ISRO, which has achieved a major milestone with successful completion of its second satellite docking in the Space Docking Experiment mission, marking a significant step forward for India's space capability. On the economic front, Apple is set to move all iPhone production from the US market to India by 2026. This move is seen as a response to the growing tariffs and a step forward reducing reliance on China, signaling a closer partnership between the tech giant and India's burgeoning manufacturing sector. The last news that we have for the week is that the Supreme Court has raised alarm over the growing crisis of child trafficking in the country, urging immediate and comprehensive measures to combat this devastating issue. Stay tuned as the story of India unfolds, from its internal challenges to its growing global influence. The country's journey continues to be one of transformation, resilience, and hope.